All right, I think we're ready to get started. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us. At first, we'll go over some housekeeping rules. My name is Adi. I work at Atera. I manage our social networks and our affiliate program. So feel free to add me on LinkedIn and follow us on social media if you don't already. So some housekeeping rules. So first of all, the webinar is being recorded today. We'll be sure to send the recording and some highlights of the session within a few days. So you should expect that in your email. Please keep your questions in the Q&A tab here on the right. And at the end of the session, Yakov will be answering your questions. So just make sure to put those in the Q&A. Please let us know where you're joining from. It's really fun to see. Hey, Canada, South Carolina, Washington, D.C., South Africa. It's awesome. Please keep it going. And at the end of the webinar, we'll hold a live Q&A session. So like I said, make sure to ask your questions in the Q&A and stay with us till the end. So now I am thrilled to be introducing our product manager, Yakov.
Thank you very much, Adi, and thank you everybody for joining in today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We're currently in Tel Aviv in Israel. As Adi said, my name is Yakov. I'm a product manager here at Atera. We actually work in different squads and different domains, and I'm in charge of everything PSA related in Atera, meaning the help desk system and the billing section that we have in our MSP product. Very excited for this. I've been with Atera for almost 2.5 years now, and really in the last couple of months have been nothing like I ever experienced, and you will see this in the webinar. So let's get started. I want to talk a bit about the agenda of what we'll discuss. So first of all, I wanted to have a quick recap on AI and OpenAI and how it meets us in the world of IT. We're going to talk about Atera's automation and everything that we're offering today. We're also going to have a sneak peek into what is coming next. And then as Adi mentioned, we'll have the live Q&A session. And then you'll be able to ask anything that you want to know about our roadmap and anything I might have missed during the webinar. So yeah, maybe the first thing that would be interesting to discuss is where we are today. And I think we can all agree we're not on the brink anymore. This is happening. Industries are changing. We see this in IT. I see this all of my friends who work in different jobs. AI meets us everywhere we are, and we cannot ignore it anymore. There are some studies trying to understand what would be the impact of this revolution, which is, I think, unprecedented, like the inventing of paper and books. So Goldman Sachs are actually seeing that about 2/3 of jobs will benefit from AI, which is very exciting. And actually, a lot of people are scared, but we are seeing people benefiting from this revolution. And the predictions about productivity and just the product growing, they're saying that if we reach about 50% adoption, which will obviously take a couple of years, we'll see a 7% growth of the global economy, which amounts to about $7 trillion. So that is amazing, and really this shows us this is the time to harness this, especially in our industry of IT. And I think we're already seeing this with our customers today. I believe this is the time for us to adapt and understand this is the world we live in. It cannot be ignored anymore, and adopt. Take these new technologies, learn them, harness them to our stacks, to our RMMs, to the PSAs, and to the way we do, our everyday actions. Because today, being in IT is becoming a lot about service and not just knowing how to solve things. Your end users, your customers, they want us to see how we're doing things fast. They want us, they want to have nice service, and AI is what could help us do those things. And so maybe now would be a good time to talk about Atera's approach into developing everything we've done so far and everything we're planning to do later on, which again I will also show you. Um, so the first thing is Atera is trailblazing. There's no doubt. We were the first one to introduce an integration with OpenAI, ChatGPT. We've actually partnered with Microsoft, our dear friends, and we're using Microsoft's OpenAI. And really, every feature we've released so far in the market was the first one, and it was groundbreaking. And seeing our users adopt those things is really exciting. And at the same time, we don't want just to release features for the sake of having AI. We want to have a holistic approach into how we do IT and how we can combine our product, which we strive to be an all-in-one. We have the RMM, PSA, remote management, and our marketplace. So really, when I'll show you the features now, we're trying to take the whole life cycle of what it means to do IT from the moment a ticket is created until the moment you find a solution and actually deploy it on the computer. We're trying to walk you through all of those steps. At the same time, and this is pretty obvious, we're trying to reduce repetitive work. I've been talking to users for a long time now, and the numbers vary between different organizations, between MSPs and IT departments. But a lot of people are telling me, listen, about 50% of what I do can be automated. You know, the printer is not working. I need to reset the password. All those things are repetitive, and they're preventing me from doing what I feel is more important or what I want to do more because it's more interesting for me and can take our organization to the next step. Upgrading infrastructure and things like that. So we are trying to reduce those repetitive things. And as I already mentioned, we're seeing a shift in the industry. Service is IT service is about speed, efficiency, and communication, which I think it's a word that used to be quite foreign, but now there's more of a CS, customer success approach into doing IT, becoming a trusted advisor, accompanying your clients, and really trying to communicate the best way possible with them. So all those things are guiding us when we're developing these features and when we're thinking what would be the best way to harness AI into what we're offering. And maybe now would be a good time to talk about what Atera currently does. So this is the current offering. And this is what we call maybe the co-pilot unofficially. So the first thing is the ticket summary. For those of you who have an Atera trial, if you haven't yet, I suggest you go to atera.com, open a free trial. There's no credit card required, and you can just play around with the system and see everything. Oh, sorry. There we go. So if you haven't opened a trial, open one. And if you're already using the system and using our help desk or not, you can go into the ticket section and do the steps as I do them in the workshop in a couple of minutes. But essentially for every ticket in the system, we're offering you a ticket summary. And this is really a great way to catch up and see what happened on the ticket. A lot of time you have these tickets that have been going on for a while. They're sitting there open or pending for something. And really you're losing context as you're switching between different tickets throughout the day. So what ticket summary does is just gives you a quick catch up into what happened so far. And this is also great for managers who, at the end of the day, want to see and go through all the tickets instead of asking your technicians, what is this? What is this? Why is this not closed? You can go and summarize each one of the tickets. And really, that is a great feature. Once you have the summary, we're also suggesting you a solution. So not everything requires a solution, But if we're identifying that there's a problem with a specific ticket, we're using OpenAI's engine in order to suggest something that will probably solve the solution that you have, the problem that you have. And then comes the service side. And really, maybe the second and the third step are you can change between them, but we're also suggesting a friendly, helpful, and practical response. And this is really great because for me especially, it's hard to write the first words, if you know what I mean. So we're generating a response for you based on what happened on the ticket, and then you can copy it, you can paste it to the clipboard, um, and post it as it is, or edit it if you want to use your own words. But really, this is a great baseline into what you can answer. And just a couple of minutes ago, actually, I received an email from one of our customers who started using the AI, and he said this saves them like 10 times the amount of just writing what the response should be, because that is the hardest part for him. So really, it's amazing to hear that feedback. And eventually, since we have a solution we're suggesting for you, and we're an all-in-one RMM and PSA solution, we can also take that suggested solution and generate a script that performs exactly those steps. That way, you don't have to monitor into the device or walk over to the desk. You can simply run it on the agent that belongs to the user. Um, I spoke for quite a long time, so I want to show you how this looks like. So let's share my screen. All right, so this is Atera. For those of you who are not familiar with it yet, the UI you're seeing is a little different than what you have in the system right now. This is a new redesigned ticket page that we're actually beta testing with some customers. But let's try and see what is happening here and how the AI assistant can help us. So title of the ticket is "Help, my computer is very slow." Okay, very informative. Um, Looks like John Lennon said, "Hey, can you please help me? My computer is very slow today." And then I answered him, "Have you tried restarting it by chance? Looking forward to hearing from you." And then John says, "Yes, it didn't help. I'm also getting a message about low disk space." So already we have some information. I'm sure most of you are thinking, yes, I know how to solve this, or I have a pretty good idea into what I'm going to say to John Lennon to fix his computer. Um, but of course, we've tested it with more complex and less complex cases, and the results are very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Assisted button here. And this is the summary. So first, we're getting a paragraph into what has happened so far. So John is experiencing slow computer performance. He's reached out to IT support for assistant. The technician, which is me, very good, suggests restarting the computer. John has already tried that and is still experiencing issues. He also mentioned receiving low disk space message. And he's waiting for me. This is quite a long paragraph. I'm more of a bullets person, so over here you can also change the visualization of the summary. So user reports slow computer, technician suggests restarting, user confirms restart didn't help, and he also reports low disk space. So already I know what is happening on the ticket, and I can sort of understand what happened so far. From here, we can generate both the reply and the solution. So let's go ahead and generate the reply first. Have you tried freeing up some disk space? Let me know if that helps. Looking forward to hearing from you, Yakov. Okay, very straightforward. Um, Again, as I mentioned, you can take this, copy it to your clipboard, and paste it as a reply if you want. But you can also edit this and use it as a baseline for something else, like make it nicer, change the wording a little. It is really up to you as to how you want to do this. Of course, you don't have to send the reply. You can also try to fix it. So let's suggest a solution. And we already have a suggested solution. So what I'm seeing here is check for malware and viruses makes sense. Maybe the computer caught something. Free up some disk space, delete on any unnecessary files or programs to free up disk space and improve performance. And also updating the drivers, which could sometimes help if there's anything that is outdated. So we have this solution. We could have just left it as it is, but that's not how we do things here at Atera. And um, what we'll do is actually click the generate script button, and we're taking away to our script creation page. And what you can see is over here, we've pasted the suggested solution and sent it to Microsoft's OpenAI. And it generated a script for us that does exactly the steps that are supposed to resolve the problem, which is quite amazing. This is a PowerShell script. So if you want, you can also, change the file type if you want, and then just generate it again. And then we will be provided with a new script. And then what you have to do is simply give it a name. So maybe you don't want to do everything. Maybe you just want to free up the disk space. So give it a name, free up disk space. Click create. The script will be created and you can run it on the machine directly from Atera. You can also attach it to an automation if you want it to run every once in a while, or if you already have the script that solves this, next time you can just run it without generating anything new. Our users are actually creating amazing things with this. We've heard of very cool use cases, but if you want to play around with this in your account or in your trial, we also have some examples here to see how the feature is working. So for example, if you want to change the host name of the machine, click generate, you already have a script. And I really suggest you play around with this, try to challenge the AI and see how quickly and how amazing it generates all these things that you can automate in your day-to-day. I showed the flow from a specific ticket screen, but you can also do everything that I've just demonstrated from the tickets list, which is where most of you are managing, the grander IT operation. So hover over any ticket, click the AI button, and you will see the same things. And maybe one small thing that I missed out is once you have the summary, and if, for example, you want to come back to it or have other people on the team see it readily, you can also click here and add it as an internal note. And then once you go back into the ticket, you will see that we pasted the summary as an internal note, and you can always go back to it and see what happened. Okay, so this is essentially what we're offering now free of charge to all of our customers, and you can all check it out. And I want to talk a bit about our future developments, which are slightly more exciting than what I just showed you. So coming up is, if we were talking about a co-pilot so far, we're moving towards an autopilot. And this sounds like a fancy word, but it really is an autopilot. Basically, a tier one support for your clients. And I will show you what this means in a moment. It revolves around the world of the customer or service portal where your users can log in, log tickets, look at their open tickets, access a knowledge base, again, free of charge for all tiers. And really, we're actually introducing two models here. One module is an AI assistant, which is essentially a chatbot where your users can go chat with the bots, talk about hopefully their IT problems and nothing personal, and it will suggest solutions for them. And I will show you also in the demo that once it's unable to, the chatbot is trying to gather more information to give you a ticket that is rich and already full of info instead of going back to the users and saying, are you seeing any error? What is the printer type? What exactly is happening? Um, and at the same time, we're introducing a self-service module which allows the user to perform actions by themselves. Things like reset password, restarting their computer, installing software that you're curating for them. All those things are in these new modules. So didn't speak for very long this time. I'm going to share my screen again. There we go. Wrong screen. Let's do the entire screen. It would be easier. Okay. So this is the service portal for those of you who are not familiar with it, which is where the users can log in. Again, as I said, manage their different tickets from here, open a new ticket. And I want to talk about these two new modules that we're introducing. We're actually beta testing with our customers right now. So this is the AI assistant, the chatbot, and I can start chatting about my life with this thing. So let's try to be not informative like most of our users are and just say printer. So I forgot to mention my name is Lynn for this demonstration. But it says, hey, Lynn, it seems like you're having issues with your printer. I can help you troubleshoot the problem. So let's actually do that. And in this case, we already attached a script that restarts the spooler service on the computer. And we connected some actions that we identify that can solve problems to this module that knows exactly what my computer is. So in this case, I need to run a verification code. We have a 2FA because we want to make sure that this user is verified. I hope my computer is on. And it looks like the request actually went to my computer. Seems like it's running the script down here, which is amazing. Let's do another case. And in this case, I can close the ticket and let my IT person know that everything's okay. But let's try to be less informative. Say printer again. Not working. Okay, so the bot is being very friendly and very nice. I'm sorry to hear that, but it's also asking me to provide more details about the issue. So I can say, is the printer turning on, not responding to print commands? No error. Okay, so the bot is trying to send me some basic troubleshooting steps. We can decide if we want to do them or not, but we can see it's trying to gather more information and actually resolve the issue. So let's say didn't help. Didn't help. But it asked me, what is the model of the printer? Just create ticket. Which the ticket, by the way, was already created. We have a ticket number here, and we automatically generated a name for this ticket. And if I'll go back to my Atera instance as the technician, you will be able to see. And so now it's asking some more info, and then the MSP or you as the IT person will have all that information already inside the ticket. So let's go actually to Atera, and I want to show you this ticket and how it was created. So then we have the printer malfunction, which we were just working on, and we can see all the conversation Lynn had with our AI assistant, which is actually a brand new technician working alongside with you, the autopilot, in your Atera system. So you can see everything that happened, everything Lynn said, and what the bot has suggested for it. Of course, we're adding some configuration for this whole feature. So once it's out for all of our customers, in our settings, you will have different settings you can configure. For example, you want the ticket, if you don't want the ticket to be automatically open once the end users initiate the chat, you can disable that. You can enforce that whenever a user submits a new ticket, it will go first to the bot. So this is also something that you can opt out from. And you can also select different customers or different sites that will receive the bot. If you don't want to have it for everybody, if you have customers who are, more important or less techy, less interested in talking to bots at the moment, you can also choose which ones will have it. So this is really, we're trying to make it as granular and as nice. And of course, you can also disable it altogether, this whole module. And so we spoke about the AI assistant, and I also want to talk about the self-service actions that we're introducing. So let's go back to our portal and to the self-service module. And this is really the place where we're trying to give more to the user and take more off of your shoulders. So in this case, I can see my computer, which is currently on. We already introduced a bunch of operations, things such as logout, restart, shutdown, and a very desired reset password, and also locking of the computer. And over here, you can see that my technician is also curating um, a list of software. So I can self-serve myself and download anything that I need, anything that is needed in my organization. And again, this whole module also has a management console inside Atera where you can manage the different softwares that are available, both for Windows and Mac computers. This works with Chocolatey and Homebrew, which are amazing repositories. So if you click Add here, computer is stuck a little. You can search for anything you might need. Let's say Adobe. Find the Adobe Reader in French. Add it. And it's now going to be part of the list of software that is available for my users. And the same thing goes for the self-service actions. So you can also choose which specific customers can have them or not have them. And as I mentioned, these actions are also connected to the chatbot, allowing the chatbot to suggest things that will resolve issues as they're happening. So I think that would be it for the demonstration.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Yakov. Now we'll move over to the Q&A. So our first question, Kamal was asking, how accurate does this AI script generator do the scripting?
Yeah. Is my camera stuck? Should I reset it? To answer your question, sorry. We are seeing that people are happy with it. Each one of the scripts, you can thumbs up or thumbs down if it was helpful or not. And we're seeing very positive responses. They're able to do very complex things. So I would say they're safe to use. Of course, we're encouraging our users to test them out before running them on every single computer. Let's see what other questions. Robin is asking, when will this be available in production? So as I mentioned, the assistant and everything I showed in the first half of the webinar are already available for everybody. The self-service module and the chatbot are now in beta. We've selected customers. We want to see their feedback. We want to see if there's more granularity that we need to introduce, and if the results are good, if they're trustworthy. And I hope we will release it in the coming months for all of our customers. Jules is asking, will this work on Mac too? The change password restart. I believe we're starting with Microsoft first, and we'll have this on Macs down the line. Okay. Ryan is asking, does the self-help module option reset password work for Azure Active Directory or just local? I believe this is local for now, but we're open to expand this. Again, we have a long list of self-service actions that we want to introduce. Jonathan is asking, I get unnecessary alerts, hundreds at a time, and I need them to be shut off. Will AI help? That's a good question. It might be that the thresholds, I'm not sure which RMM you're using, Jonathan, but maybe they're too sensitive. We are thinking of a smart way to resolve alerts. We already have a self-healing module, which is not AI based, but basically, if you have an alert triggered, you can attach a script to run automatically to resolve the alert. So that is something you can already do with Atera. But we're also thinking about smart alerts and identifying patterns and things that I can't fully disclose at the moment. Eli is asking, is there a control mechanism for AI? I'm not sure what exactly you're asking, Eli, but as I showed, these modules can be turned on and off. You don't have to expose them to your users. And also in our UI, you don't have to use them. And actually, I don't see the question yet, but we have sometimes we have a question about privacy in general, and I know that's a very valid concern that some people have. And I will say that we're working with Microsoft for all of this with their ChatGPT integration, and none of the data sent from Atera is stored anywhere or used to train any module. And we also just don't send anything if the feature is not used, if you're not clicking the summary, but it's definitely not stored and not trained for the modules. Kelton is asking, how is the AI being informative to users on the solution in terms as if they haven't used a computer before? So I assume, Kelton, you're asking if the user is not very tech savvy, how can they do those steps? So yes, it's true that it will be a little harder. But as I showed in the demonstrations, the AI is trying to be really helpful in terms of click here, go here. I'm sure it can be improved, but if the user is unable to do anything, then yeah, it wouldn't be the best solution for them. Robin is,
Yakov, we also got a question from
yeah.
people listening on our LinkedIn Live. So
Mhm.
Jamie is asking, is your UI different? My ticket conversation doesn't look that way.
Yeah, good question. I'm also I've been told that my camera is dark. Resetting it doesn't seem to work. But the ticketing, the interface, as I mentioned, we're actually working on a new UI. So what I was showing in the first half of the webinar, the whole conversation feed and the way it looks is also new and it's also in beta. We will release it in the coming months. We already have over 100 customers using it, and we're receiving very good feedback. So exciting stuff. Let's see, what other questions are we having? Robin is asking, does Atera prevent data leaking to the AI engine? So Robin, as I mentioned, the data is sent to Microsoft and is not being trained and protected by Microsoft. So it's a secure connection between us and them without any third parties involved. Tamas is asking if the self-service actions can be a custom script. So yes, we're going towards that direction. Absolutely. I'm sorry about my camera not working. Um, Al Mitchell is asking, how do we enable these features? So the first half of the webinar is available for everybody, the AI assistant, the script generator, the suggestion solution, all those things are available for you. The part of the self-service and the AI chatbot are currently in beta, and we're testing them out and hope to release them in the coming months. If you're already using our service portal and you want to try this out with live users, reach out to me directly, Yakov at Atera, and we can enable them for you and hear your feedback as well.
That also answers Francois's question about the projected release date for the beta features.
Yeah, so as I said, we're beta testing them at the moment, and hopefully in the coming months they will be available for everybody. Kelton is asking, does Microsoft integrate with ChatGPT? So Microsoft actually partnered with OpenAI, and they have their own endpoints, and they're doing their own developments based on the engine, and we partner directly with them. Tamas is asking, oh, that's a very good question. Asking, AI assistant works only in English? So the answer is no, it works in other languages as well, and it can decipher any language. And I was actually playing around with the chatbot today, and I switched to Spanish, and then the chatbot started speaking Spanish to me. So really, it is amazing and supports everybody, not just Spanish, but every language, I assume. Masiej is asking, I cannot find AI assistant in our ticketing system. Also, your GUI seems different, a lot more modern than ours. Is there a rollout coming soon to our production environment? So, Masiej, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. As I mentioned, the ticket page that I showed in the beginning of the webinar is coming out soon. The AI assistant should be available for everybody. If you're a trial user, you will see that you have a sample ticket, and the AI assistant is limited to that specific sample ticket. But once you purchase Atera, you will be able to see it on every single ticket that you have in the system. Masiaj is asking, if we train our own AI model via OpenAI, Microsoft AI, will there be possibility to bring our own model endpoint URL? It's a fair suggestion. We haven't went there yet because just the vastness of the knowledge OpenAI currently holds is truly incredible. It's true that a lot of the work and the information that you guys have as IT professionals is also contextual to your organization, and we have some thoughts around that. So stay tuned. We're looking to incorporate those. Mike is asking, Mike Corrigan, does the AI generate solutions based on the problems that can save to knowledge base, or do we manually have to make it document in the KB and the AI pulls from it? So Mike, the AI currently doesn't work on the knowledge you have inside the system. It's trained on all the information in the world up until 2021. Um, but as I mentioned, it doesn't know your knowledge base at the moment. Tomas is also asking, the AI chatbot can use information from the previous tickets in Atera to learn the right answers specific to a customer or device. So at the moment, no, it's based on OpenAI's knowledge. Any other questions, guys? While I try to fix my camera. Looks like we're good. So, oh, there's another one. Joe is asking, do you use ChatGPT 3.5 or the latest version? Good question, Joe. We ran tests with both the 4 and the 3.5, and it looks like the 3.5 is very good for what we need right now. It's also a little faster, so we're using 3.5 right now.
Yakov, we also earlier had a question if these features are available to trialers as well or only paying customers.
Of course. So the AI assistant, as I mentioned, is open. All of these features are open for all Atera plans, but if you're trialing with us at the moment, the AI assistant is limited to a specific ticket. We know it's very hard to sort of simulate a real issue during your trial. And so we wanted to create this experience so you see the powers of this feature. Um, and the script generator is open during the trial. You just have to set up 2FA to be able to create scripts inside Atera during your trial. Francois is asking, any plans for adding AI assistants to knowledge base article creation? Excellent question. Um, not sure what I'm allowed to answer here, but I've seen a prototype. Mike is asking, this is a general Atera question. Does it integrate with Microsoft Teams? And if so, does the full function of the AI interface work on it? So Mike, we are integrated to some parts of Microsoft, like Azure AD. We're not integrated to Microsoft Teams, but it's on our roadmap. And once that happens, I'm sure we're going to start thinking how we can incorporate the AI with the Teams integration.
All right, we have just a few minutes left. Are there any more questions?
Very good questions, guys. Keep them coming.
Thank you, Kelton. You too. You also have a great day. Just checking here that we haven't missed any of your questions.
Maciej is asking, AI will remain part of subscription, or are you planning token usage based AI? As I mentioned, this is available to all of our plans, um, all the different Atera plans, and also during the trial. We don't have any plans to monetize this based on tokens or anything, but of course, if something changes, we'll be sure to let you guys know.
All right. So on that
Oh,
note, we want to, oh,
is there another question? Joe, ah, is the
and
mobile
this
app
will be our final question of the night.
yeah, is the mobile app ever going to be redeveloped for better usability? Um, so we are working extensively on our mobile app. We have a new team since a couple of almost a year now, I believe. And we've introduced a lot of functionality, more filtering, more actions to the mobile app. We're constantly improving it, but if there's anything you would like to see, Joe, or any of our users, um, please go into Atera, click on the little avatar, hopefully with your face on it on the top right, and you will see the features board there. And you can submit anything that you want to see in Atera or in the mobile app. And we constantly develop based on feedback. The new page I showed you, the new ticket page, is almost exclusively based on user feedback. So we really are looking to hear those things from you, and we'd love to make the mobile app as you want it to be, Joe.
So on that note, we want to thank you all for joining us. Your questions have been incredible, very insightful. We hope you enjoyed this session. As we mentioned at the beginning, we'll be emailing you the recording within a few days. So make sure to also follow us on social media so you can get more invites to our events and webinars. So thank you very, very much and have a lovely day.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.